Hello, Waswere here, back with another video, and today we're talking about leagues. Leagues are an old school RuneScape temporary game mode where the drop rates are increased, the XP is boosted, and there are powerful game-changing relics. I spent the first couple days of leagues watching streams 12 hours a day and felt like I was missing out. So last weekend I decided to finally jump in, and it took me about 4 hours to unlock the first area. I was hooked immediately, and since then I haven't logged into my main or Ironman on RS3. Don't worry, I'm not ever going to quit RS3 and become an old schooler, it's just not in my blood. I'd say I even learned that the main OSRS game mode isn't for me. The big draw for me was that leagues fixed the three main issues I had with old school. First of all, run energy is too punishing in the early game, and you spend too much time walking around going from place to place. The second is the lack of Toolbelt is incredibly frustrating when you aren't used to it. The main upgrade path direction has a lot of early grinds that can lead to early burnout. I still haven't gotten Ironman past the early Wintertod grind. The first issue was fixed by the fact that everyone gets unlimited run energy on the league, so you really can run everywhere. So a 3-minute walk turned into a 90-second run, as running is twice the speed of walking. The second issue was fixed by one of the relics, a tier 2 relic, Last Recall. It's really cool as it saves your location when you teleport away, and you can jump right back into where you are going. So if you forget a hammer and chisel while doing a birdhouse run, something I've done way too often, then it's not like you have to spend another 5 minutes getting back there. Instead, you just teleport away, go to a bank, and then teleport right back to your location. It also has some cool applications for bossing, and is basically like OSRS now has War's Retreat, with quick banking and quick prayer regeneration whenever you need it. The third issue is fixed by focusing on tasks and points instead of level ups on unlocking your next area and relics. The first area takes 60 tasks to unlock, so you can scroll through the list of tasks, find the ones you can do or you can do quickly, and get the points. This continues until you have all the areas and all the relics unlocked, and by that time you're at 300 tasks and 15k points. You're at a position where your account's probably going to be pretty high leveled, and you can focus on the PVM and skilling grinds that you want to do. For example, if you want to get like 25 mil cooking, that's a task for that. Or if you want to go kill 500 Cerberus, you can get a task for that. Personally, I want to get most of the tasks done for the new content that doesn't exist in RS3 or is very different. Getting all those herbivore kills, some Theater of Blood kills, the Kraken boss, demonic gorillas, Cerberus, all this sort of fun content that I won't get to experience on RS3. It allows people like me to try out old school and see if they like it. Without sinking hundreds and hundreds of hours on low-level content, it would suck to spend 50 hours at Wintertod or however long that is to get your 99 fire making, and then figure out that you actually don't like old school 2 weeks later. Personally, I found that I probably wouldn't enjoy OSRS without all of the relics. Necessarily don't need the massive XP boost or the drop rate increases, but the combat relics and the teleporting relics are just too good and so much fun to play around with, and ends up with, instead of 30 minutes of content in an hour of gameplay, I'm now doing 45-50 minutes of content in an hour of gameplay. I think I'll end up in a situation where I'll play every league on OSRS and then otherwise main RS3 for the other 10 months of the year. It seems that old school is doing an annual thing where they do one league a year near the end of the year. It's a temporary game mode, so if something is incredibly broken, it doesn't really matter. Last Recall, the teleportation relic that I mentioned above, is too OP for what Jagex wanted, as there was an oversight that you could get a quick bank teleport to combo with Last Recall immediately after completing Kandarin. But instead of panicking about nerfing something that was OP, they just rolled with it because it's a temporary game mode. The social media boon is absolutely insane. On an average day, the OSRS category peaks at about 10,000 viewers on Twitch, but over the past 2 weeks or so, there have been averaging 25k viewers. If you look at the average viewers, it's about 5 times as many people are watching Twitch as before. The buzz on Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit, which is overwhelmingly positive, is a boatload of free advertisement for Jagex. And they've probably converted a lot of players who wouldn't otherwise play to now playing old school RuneScape. And last of all, you can get to the end game while only playing a little bit. This league is open for about 70 days, and it takes about 60 hours to get to the final relic. So if you play an hour a day, you can reasonably expect to get there by the end of the league. And if you play 2 hours a day, you probably have enough time to get to the end and try out all the high-level content that you otherwise wouldn't be able to with that small of a time. On top of that, a lot of the quests are auto-completed. Like if you unlock the Fremnik region, you get Dragon Slayer 2. If you unlock the Kandarin region, you get Monkey Madness 2. So all these high-level quests are pretty much done for you because they require so many areas to complete. So you can do stuff like demonic gorillas without ever having to complete the Monkey Madness quest. So it just ends up saving you a lot of time on your grind, and you don't have to do a lot of quests in this league. I think I've done a total of 10 quests over the past week, and they were all really small quests. Probably the toughest grind I did was the recipe for disaster subquests, which I did 4 or 5 of them, and that was only an hour or 2. The only real downside is that because it's temporary, once the 2 months are up, the account is gone. But to mitigate that, you can use your league points that you gain to spend on tradable cosmetics, which you can then get old school GP for, which you could then transfer over for RS3 GP. I have a friend who made almost 1 bill RS3 last league, but they played a ton with about 20 days of gameplay over the 2 months. So in terms of a GP per hour spectrum, it would be better to just AFK something on RS3, but you're having fun playing leagues and you get a little GP out of it at the end. On top of that, the high scores will be locked and on the website forever, so you can have your rank permanently and can always look back on it to see what you accomplished during the league. So yeah, in case it wasn't clear, I love leagues and wish RS3 had their own. I'm going to be playing it through the next boss release on RS3, which is scheduled to be early December, so content on this channel will be much more sparse at probably 1 video a week, which will mainly be a guide. I don't want to create a series on the league as I think there are so many OSRS YouTubers who are doing a great job at creating high quality content for leagues that mine isn't needed. I've primarily been following along on Nooblet's path. I'm going to leave a link to his channel, and I'm going to leave a link to the first leagues video in the description of this video. If you want to start getting into leagues, he's a great resource to follow as he's doing a pretty standard meta path with Kandrin, Escarnia, Mauritania, with melee, and it's been a fun path to follow along with him. Now, the one thing I might dabble in is some task guides, like getting the first 60 tasks to unlock your first area choice, as I did that in about 4 hours, so I think I have a good handle on how to get that done quickly, so I might start a new account, just get to that first 60 tasks, record it all up, and list out all the tasks I do in order. If you want that kind of video, please leave a comment down below. I implore everyone to try out leagues, even for like an hour or two. If they have it, you have membership on your RuneScape account, you might as well try it out. But past that, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.